All right, so now let's look at the sense of smell. Smell is also a chemical sensation. So the cells are utilized are going to be chemoreceptors, And if you look at this picture here, right here is the olfactory epithelium, and then here it is blown up. So we have the bony part down here, right here, and then right here are the receptor cells that are here. So these cells here are neural cells. These are those bipolar cells, the receptor cells. And so these little cilia that come off of the receptor that you can see here, those have little receptors here for smells. And this whole area is filled with mucus. Okay, so the sense of smell is in solution. Okay, so those little pieces of little particles that are in solution that will bind to these little receptors. So if we blow up this cell, let's make a little cell here. Let's a better color than that, a little darker. Okay. So if we have this cell, and here's my little olfactory epithelium, and there's little receptors there. So when they bind, a particle binds there. What's going to happen? Well, when a particle binds there, it starts a second messenger system in here. So it starts the second messenger system. And what happens is it comes up here and it opens or deposits sodium channels into the membrane. So these are sodium channels into the membrane. So what happens there? Well, sodium comes in because that's what sodium does in a membrane, because of course there's more sodium outside than in, so it flows in, and that changes the potential on the membrane, creating an action potential. So this action potential goes up the neuron, the bipolar neuron. Remember, bipolar neurons are specific to special senses. And then it will synapse, and it will synapse on, guess what? It will synapse at cranial nerve 1, or the olfactory nerve. And we'll take that smell sensation into the temporal lobe. All right, and pretty much that's how it works. It does not go through the thalamus. It goes to the temporal lobe with its smell sensation. All right, there's about 100 different smell sensations that are combined to make odors for us. But again, they travel the same way through these bipolar nerves, and they synapse here in this olfactory nerve, which is in the olfactory bulb. And then from there goes down the nerve, cranial nerve 1, which if you remember when we looked at that, cranial nerve 1 and 2, they don't really exit the brain, so they're really tracks, but we call them cranial nerves. Anyway, that's how smell occurs. Next, we will look at hearing.